Okay, first we got to explain that we're doing this video on Sunday the 25th. 5th, because you missed PJ's birthday on the 23rd.
Oh, that's right, I did.
So Sunday the 25th. I just got out of the shower, so my hair doesn't look that great. Jimmy's excuse is...
I just got out of World War II.
You probably know because we mentioned it last week on our Wednesday, Jamming with Jimmy on Wednesday.
Yep.
Jimmy had a tornado strike within a block or so of your house.
Yeah, like the block behind us.
Yeah, did major damage.
Like tore our houses apart.
Yes. And Jimmy's thinking, I just sold my house.
Right,
house.
don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
But you already know about that. What they already know about that, though.
The dime is still where it was.
But you already know about this because we talked about it last Wednesday. But right now, I am probably sitting on the beach.
That's true.
You're probably up in a...
Are you done showering or bathing?
Oh, I don't bathe. I don't bathe in the lake anymore. I have reached adulthood.
Exactly.
I take it in the shower. But even then, I didn't. But anyway, we were tagged last week, 2 weeks ago, by Mary Gets Fit, which is a new channel. I'm going to leave a link to her channel down below because I really like her. She's really good. She's on a weight loss. She's trying to build her channel. She's under 1,000 subscribers, so go over there. But I am going to tag, for a change, I'm going to tag Tracy over at Trials of a Longhaired Girl. Tracy, I know that, with all of what you're going through, you might not be able to do it, but I wanted to take the opportunity to tag Tracy since this isn't a tag started by Tracy.
There you go.
But then I'm also going to tag Weight Watchers with Carrie and Valerie Reese.
Okay, and then I will tag Kim, from A Girl in Her Phone.
Well, not Mr. Smooth?
And Mr. Smooth. I thought that was like a given.
Oh,
It's automatic. And Joan's Pointed Plate.
Okay, so that's the 4. I thought there was someone else I wanted to tag. Oh, no, I did tag. So we have 5 that we tagged.
Right.
So, okay, well, we'll remind you at the end. Okay, first question. Have you ever played hooky from school or work? Liar! He's a liar!
I have once, not proud of this, but I'll give the excuse after, just so everyone can have that shock factor. Skip the entire month of February. But only one class, and it was a 3-hour class.
Which was like the whole day, probably.
It was like we had school from 7 to I think it was 9:30, and then we would take a bus over to a vocational school and finish the day there. Well, I would go 7 to 9:30, and then. But it was because it was an architectural class, and the teacher said right at the very beginning, he said, here's your project. You got to design your dream house. It has to be over 10,000 square feet. So it was like a lot. And you have to design the whole thing. It should take 6 to 8 months to do. If you get it finished before then, you can turn it in and I'll grade it. And if you pass, I don't care what you do. You can come here and play video games, hang out, do whatever you want. He didn't say we had to be there. He just said you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So me and Kevin, everyone else was like, oh, we got 8 months, and they're just fooling around, doing everything else. Me and Kevin were just back there drawing away. Everyone was making fun of us, but guess what? Come November, or no, it was December, because it was right before Christmas break. Guess who was done and got an A on their project? So we were like, all right. So then it was like, oh, we'll skip one day. And then, I got bored, like we're sitting here for 4 hours doing nothing. Screw it, let's just go play hockey. So we would leave at 9:30 and go play hockey.
Then, that's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of the fact that your senior year, that you had Becky, his girlfriend, call in, pretend she was me.
Yes.
My son can't come in today. He's not feeling well.
That's true. And then we'd go to Denny's.
Yeah, that was him.
Grand Slam. Is there a Denny's around anymore?
Yeah, there's one up on, oh no, that closed.
No, that closed. That's the one we went to.
Yeah, that one's closed. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're gone. Oh, they are in Michigan, this area of Michigan.
Yeah.
I played hooky from class, and that's how I met your dad.
I was going to say, I knew where that was going.
I've never skipped a whole day of school, other than like senior skip day.
Yeah.
But that's a gimme. But no, I was skipping with Sue, and that's how I met Jim. And I don't think I've ever...
Halt.
Where's your pass? Because you had to have a pass just to go to the bathroom or something.
Did he have the little thing on or no?
No, they didn't wear that. He had a chair that he sat out in the corner of where the intersection, I guess, where all the 4 halls came together. But no, that's about the only time I loved school. I did really well in school. I never had homework because, like Jimmy said, like the teacher would say, well, this is your assignment for tomorrow. You can do whatever. This is your free time now. And I would just sit there and do all my homework because I
Right.
thought, I don't want to go home and do homework. I'm in class here or whatever. I'm going to have more fun outside of school.
Right.
So that's what I did. Okay. Have you, actually, the tag was 20 questions, and 20 questions is just too many. So we only picked, Jimmy picked 10.
I picked 10.
So this is basically Jimmy's tag.
I picked them.
He picked all 10.
Just don't see the reaction on her face.
Yes. Have you ever climbed out a window?
I have. I used to sneak out of my bedroom because my bedroom had the family room was the roof was right below my window. So all I had to do was get onto the roof, climb down, jump down. And then when I came back, just pull the pool ladder over and jump on it. Nobody ever knew.
He never had enough sense to come when he got into the house to try to figure out a way to quietly go out and move the pool
Well,
ladder.
there was no way because that's when we had that big aluminum door that would go.
Yeah, but
every
you
time
could
opened
have
it.
went out through the kitchen door, closed the kitchen door, then went through the garage door.
You guys are light sleepers. You would have heard that in a heartbeat.
Well, I do. I'm a very light sleeper. I can hear anything. I have never
You
climbed.
could hear Danny with his bowl. Tink, tink, tink.
Well, you know what? I think I pride myself on the fact that I can identify a noise and then go right back to sleep.
True.
You can call me in the middle of the night. I can have a full-blown conversation with you and roll over and go right back to sleep.
I'm the same way.
So that doesn't matter. But I have never climbed out a window. I've never had a.
Well, you couldn't. The only window you had was in Detroit, really.
Oh, and I was on the second floor, and I would have had to drop
You
right
would
down to the
have
floor,
you would
right
have
onto the ground.
2-story drop.
Although my brother Pat, in his drinking phases when he was young, my favorite Pat story is there was a bar that was attached to a bowling alley, Denby Lanes, over
Where was
by
that?
across from Whittier Jewelry where Denise worked.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Pat was underage, and our next door neighbor, who always wanted to think she was young, Sandy Kuzmak, and she's passed away by now. So, but anyway, she had brought Pat to the bar, and my mother heard about it, and so my mother went, and there was a band because there was a band playing, and my mother came and sat down next to Pat, and offered and just kind of poked him, says, "Would you like a drink?" And he went, "Sure." And then he looked and he saw it was my mom. It was all hell to pay. But many a night.
Did you buy him a drink?
No, she did not buy him a drink. Many a night, Pat would be drunk and he would try to climb in. And the one time he was trying to climb in through the kitchen window, which was over the sink,
How the hell would you even try there?
because the faucet for the outside was there,
Oh,
and he
so
could
he
put his
stepped on
foot so he
it, yeah.
could scoop himself up. And my mother thought it was a burglar and almost stabbed him to death. After that, he didn't. But no.
Why wouldn't he climb in his bedroom window?
Because that was right next to my mother's window. Like the two windows
Yeah,
were
I
so
know.
close. There was just like a
Yeah, there
wall.
was only a wall right there, but you still would have been easier. That was at least waist high. You could have just.
He was drunk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Number 7 or would this would be number 3? I believe something was haunted.
Yes, our house in Roxbury was haunted.
Oh, Lawson.
It was. I went in that bathroom downstairs and I shut the light off, and it was pitch black, and there were a set of freaking eyes glowing, going around.
He was probably, well, when we lived down Roxbury, you were 5, and we moved when you were 13.
Yeah, that's when I drove my bike up, and there was a moving truck in the driveway.
You're never going to hear the end of that. He's just lucky we brought him along.
Right?
If I could have seen the future at that point, there might have been a hesitation.
It would have been.
His grandma lives 2 blocks over. He can just ride his bike over there and
Exactly.
live with her for a while. No, I don't. I believe in spirits, and I believe people come to visit you, but not
That's
to
the same
haunt
thing.
you. No, haunt you means like they're trying to hurt, not scare you.
Oh, then no. I'm.
Well, you
I'm
said the
referring-
googly eyes scared
Yeah,
you.
well, it did, but I mean, it doesn't mean they were there to do that.
No, I think that my loved ones come to me in my dreams, but I don't think it's
I get
haunted.
that too.
And but I don't know. Sometimes I'll walk into a room and I'll smell something that'll remind me of my mom or my dad.
Yeah.
Or my sister Sue or something. My brother Pat. But I don't believe I'm haunted
No.
in that
no,
sense.
no.
Have you ever pulled an all-nighter?
Yes, actually, when I was working with Bob, when I first started working with Bob, we were working on that one factory, and we started working at 7 a.m. and we worked we started at 7 a.m. on Monday, and we worked until Wednesday at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. And then, obviously, we were so dead tired we couldn't do anymore.
Yeah.
Went home, and then started at 7 o'clock and did it again. Not that long, but did like, it was stupid. That hour, I think we had like 150 or 160 hours that week.
Oh, geez.
It was crazy, but we got it done.
When I worked at Montgomery Wards, we had a inventory, and I had woke up that morning, I worked at 8 to 5, and then the inventory started at 9, so I just went home, got you guys dinner, and then went back at 9 o'clock to start the inventory, and it lasted until like 1:30 in the morning, and then we hit the bar, and
Yep. That's when you ordered your breakfast buffet.
and then, yeah, I ordered my breakfast buffet, and then I went home, and I didn't even go to sleep, because just as I was laying in bed, the alarm clock was going off, because I had to be there the next morning at 7. And so then I got up and went to work, still kind of drunk.
You probably were.
Probably was. But that's the only all-nighter I ever pulled.
Or were they talking all night or like drinking wise?
Well, that would include both for me.
I was just saying, because I've done that too.
Well, that's the next part of the next question. Have you ever thrown a drink at someone?
Yes, but it was a pitcher of beer.
Oh, that makes it okay.
It does. Well, because when we were bowling, it was me, Brad. I'm trying to think of who it was. It was me, Brad.
Wasn't Danny bowling?
No, it was me. Oh, Al. Me, Brad, Al, and then one of Al's friends joined us for some reason, because it was right before Aaron joined the team,
Okay.
but so it was there. So what we would do is we obviously take turns. Like, this is my round, so I'll buy a pitcher of beer, blah, 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 and everyone would drink it from it, and then
Yeah.
whoever, you just keep going back and forth. Well, this one guy wasn't buying a pitcher of beer. He goes, "Oh, I'm not buying a pitcher." And I go, "Well, then stop drinking, because you're not." And he's like, "No, if it's here, I'm drinking." I go, "Well, you're buying the next pitcher." So then the barmaid came up, said, "Could I help you?" And I go, "Yeah, we'll have another pitcher," and it's on him. Oh, it wasn't beer, it was water, because he goes, "Can I have a pitcher of water?" That's what he asked for. So she put the pitcher of water down. I'm like, "Where's the beer?" And he goes, "I'm not paying for beer." And I go, "You're paying for a beer right now," because I was a little drunk too. I go, "You're paying for a beer right now, or you're gonna wear this." "Ah, you ain't gonna do that." And so now we're yelling and escalating. So I stood up and I just this whole thing just.
In the bowling, where everybody had to step for the bowling shoes and everything? Oh.
No, like it was
in the
back
back.
at the seat
Oh,
there,
okay.
so I'll just. Which then, of course, he tried jumping the table, which then Brad knew, because he was just a little guy.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, you don't want to be jumping the table." So Brad kind of like, whoa, big guy.
I have never thrown a drink at someone, but I spit a drink at someone's face.
Why would you?
Okay, this is like adult content.
Oh, Jesus.
So, if you don't want to hear it, skip on by. When it's the next question, I'll touch my nose so that you know when to do it. But it was my birthday, and I was going around and telling everybody, "It's my birthday, you got to buy me a drink. It's my birthday, you got to buy me a drink." And people would buy me a drink. I mean, people, complete strangers.
Yeah,
I
try
would I think because I was a woman, it worked. I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe if you went up to women,
Yeah, that's true.
it might work.
Give
But
it a
anyway,
shot.
I was going all the way up around and everything, and this guy in the bar was drunk, and he ordered me a shot of something, and I never did shots.
Right.
So I thought, well, okay, it's my birthday. I'm going to try something first. One time, and so he gives me this drink, and I put it into my mouth, and I started to drink it, and it was like awful, and I probably should have just swallowed, because it probably would have been better than just leaving it in my mouth. And I was like looking around trying to think out, what am I going to do with this? This is an awful, awful drink. And he says, "That's called a blowjob, and you know what you do with blowjobs." And I spit it in his face, and I said, "I never swallow." It was like, and then he was so mad.
I was going to say, I can see
His
him.
friend, and then Pat, the one that ended up paying for my breakfast the other day, he came up, because he was a big guy. He come up and he said, "She's had enough. I apologize." But that's the only time I've never thrown a drink at anybody's face. But anyway, okay, we're going on to the next one. Have you ever farted in front of your significant other?
All the time. There's no filter there. We could be sitting this close and it'd be like, oh.
It took me the longest time when I was first married to do it, but I was like 20 when I got married.
Right.
But it took the longest time, and it was like so painful. And then one day I just thought, what the heck? Jim had no problems.
Nope.
No problems. To this day, he has no problems. And you'll walk by and I'll say, did you just? He'll go, yeah. Have you ever cheated in a board game?
No,
No.
I do not cheat
Because
in any games.
Because I raised my kids, I told them.
Nope.
If you got to cheat to win, did you really win?
Exactly.
So there's
Same thing with golf. Even there could be nobody around me, and I could be like, "Oh, if I just move this over just
That's not what your brother says.
No. What?
He said.
He could say, "Oh, we got stories about my brother golfing." Trust me, he's got every excuse under the sun.
Oh, what's a golfer's favorite shot?
A golfer's favorite shot.
Like when they're golf, it's a joke. What's a golfer's favorite shot? Oh no. Let me say it right. What's a golfer's favorite bird?
A birdie.
Oh, any birdie will do. Danny said eagle. I didn't know there was an eagle. I don't know anything about
Actually,
golf.
there's an albatross.
That's not a bird. That's a fish, isn't it? Oh no, that's a bird.
No, albatross is a bird. Albatross is better than bird. There's better than eagle.
Jimmy sent me a really cute video of a girl on one of those rides where you had to hold on to the thing, and it started taking off, and the bird came.
It's a nope.
So if anybody ever wanted to know what to get Jimmy, he loves birds. You're going to have chickens on your place?
They think so, but no.
They're going to have chickens.
I don't mind chicken. They don't bother me. It's the smell of the chickens.
Have you ever met a celebrity?
Yes, we met. I met. Well, I wouldn't say met, but like was in the vicinity, seen them. Phil Mickelson, Bubba Watson, golfers.
Yeah.
And then
I knew them.
Who were the Tigers that came to our house for the road rally?
Oh, I forget their names, but
Dave Lynn.
Dave Lynn was one, yeah. And who was the other one? The other guy that came for the road rally to the house, Jim. Do you remember the Tiger?
Oh, Larry Herndon.
Oh, Larry.
And Larry
Herndon.
Herndon.
So I met them too, but I didn't know who they were because I didn't follow baseball. I played baseball, but I didn't follow baseball.
Yeah, so 4. I'm sure there's a couple more, but I
He
can't.
played softball.
I played softball. I guess there's a difference.
There is a difference.
I played softball. I met, which was a local celebrity. We didn't really meet him, but he was in the car next to us, driving with his nose up in the air. Bill Kennedy, down 8 Mile.
Oh, yeah.
Remember your dad used to.
Also,
Sonny Elliott.
Sonny Elliott.
We saw him at a Big Boys. He was sitting kitty corner at the table next to us. We saw him. He was our local weather forecaster.
Inga.
Yeah, he always, like, on the Upper Peninsula, he'd always go, ink, 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 because the Upper Peninsula back when I was growing up, hardly anybody ever lived in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people there. There were people there, but not as many as there are now.
Right.
And then I also met Jerry Van Dyke. And I did meet him in person, and I did talk to him, and I do have a picture. And if I can find the picture, I'll put it right here. But I do have a picture. We were in Chicago on the Miracle Mile, and we were in this one shopping center that was like, you took different floors. You took the elevator to it was like a stacked mall, not a long mall. And Denise had seen him, and she said, "That's Jerry Van Dyke." And I go, "No, that's not Jerry Van Dyke." And she says, "Yeah." And so we started stalking him through the whole thing, and everywhere he went, we went. And then finally, Denise says, "I'm going up to ask him." And so she went up to him, and she said, "Excuse me, but are you Jerry Van Dyke? My sisters don't believe me." And he says, "Well, yes, I am." He said, "I was wondering why you guys were stalking me through this whole wall." He knew we were following him. So he says, "I was kind of wondering who shops with the camera around their neck," because Denise was always taking pictures. And she says, "Well, we're on vacation, blah, blah, blah." And he says, "Would you like a picture?" So he had his wife take a picture of him and Denise. And then he says, "Well, come on." And he's like, and we're looking, and he says, "Come on, we're going to get group shots. Let's go, the group shots." And so he came and he took group pictures. He took individual pictures with his wife did. Took all these pictures of us. And then he was very
nice,
down to earth. I mean, he really was. And his character was Luther, who always loved donuts.
Yeah.
And so he says, "There's got to be a donut shop somewhere in here. Let's go have a donut." He was just the nicest guy. Right. And I always loved the fact that his wife was the same age as him. It wasn't like he had some young hot babe.
Right.
She was really good looking, but they were very charming. They were just really charming,
They
really
weren't
down
like,
to
get
earth.
away from me.
No, he was very, and he was not as heavy as I thought. I mean, he looks kind of chunky on the videos, short and chunky. He's really not that short. He was probably 5'9", which is not really short for
So
me.
Jared, he was the one that was on Coach, right?
Coach, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, but anyway, kind of a long answer, but look at 20 minutes, Joan.
That's you.
That's me, it is.
babbling.
Number 9, have you ever fallen asleep in class? I never have.
I have.
I've fallen asleep in church. I have fallen asleep when my kids were little.
I don't think I've fallen asleep in church, though. Have I?
No, just when you were a baby.
Well,
But I mean, other than that, but no, I have fallen like a boring sermon, and you'll just kind of,
I've fallen
and
asleep.
then you kind of wake up.
I've fallen asleep in Mr. Gunst's class. That's not a good thing to do.
No, you don't want to fall asleep in Mr.
He had a row of books on his desk with these little loops that were on the bottoms of the books, but he had a piece of wood or something in front, so you couldn't really see the ends of the books. And it didn't matter if you were talking, sleeping,
Catholic school.
whatever you were doing. He would take this loop and he would pull out the book, and you'd look at him and he'd be writing, and how he seen you, I have no clue, and he would just take this book and whoo! So the one time, whenever you were sleeping, you got a book thrown at you. So, a couple books. And then the one time I was acting up, he threw a book at me and I ducked.
Yeah,
And then it hit, I can't think of her last name, Ellen.
yeah.
Smartest kid in the entire school. Quietest, didn't say a word, nothing. She
Straight
was straight A's. And I ducked, and this thing just.
Her parents came over.
Oh, her parents
I
came
don't think
over.
he ever threw a book after that.
I don't think you did.
And the last question, I guess you guys are really glad about this, finally. Told your parents you were staying at a friend's house, but actually went somewhere else.
Yes.
Does that surprise anybody? It surely doesn't surprise me.
The one that comes to mind, though, was saying that I was going to Kevin's house to spend the night, which I was spending the night there. But then we went out to a party. It was like an all-night party. And the party, whatever party we were going to go to, wasn't happening. It was like the next weekend.
Yeah.
So then we went, we'll just go to Burger King. So we went to Burger King and then came back the next day. And I remember, I can see it still. You were in the bathroom getting ready for work. And you were like, so, did you have fun at Kevin's last night? I went, yeah. She goes, so what'd you guys do? And I go, nothing, just hung out. And she's like, I seen you at Burger King. And I'm like, oh, we just went up there to get food and, and I'm blah, blah, blah. And she started laughing. I go, what are you laughing at? She goes, I didn't even leave the house. That was just a guess. And I'm like, well, we didn't do anything bad.
No, I wasn't allowed to really stay places at other people's houses because I had convulsions when I was growing up and my mother didn't want me to do that. But I did go to a couple pajama parties, but my mother knew about them.
Right.
Anyway, that's 23 minutes later.
18 of it.
No, most of it was Jimmy. We should go back into it. Time. Whatever. So anyway, once again, I am tagging Tracy over at Trials of a Longhaired Girl, Weight Watchers with Carrie, and Valerie Reese.
And then Kim and Mr. Smooth from A Girl on Her Phone and Joan's Point of Play.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys next week, and I'll be back from vacation.
That's true.